All right, I was fully intending to work on the corn head today, but the weather's shitty and it's actually, I don't know if you can see it on camera, it's raining right now. Well, yeah, I'd call this rain. Been kind of doing this shit on and off all day, but we need it, so I'm not going to complain. It's actually kind of chilly out. It's probably, well, I'm currently in a sweatshirt. I can't remember what it was, what the truck said it was this morning, but it hasn't really warmed up too much. Well, we're supposed to get, it's supposed to be rainy today. Tomorrow it's supposed to be overcast in the morning, and then the sun's supposed to come back out, and then it's supposed to warm back up for the rest of the week, which will do that hay some good. It's we went over and looked at it yesterday, and it has the alfalfa sprouted and there's some grass coming up. So when we get a little bit thicker stand, we'll go over there and show you what's going on. But anyway, since this is over here sitting in the barn, I actually moved it out of its corner spot here yesterday so that I can get to it. I'm trying to get a final like arrangement figured out, and I came to the conclusion that until I have all three combines over here, because the 7300 I'm going to put in this corner and that's going to stay there, and the 525 is going to stay where it's at. But I've come to the conclusion that until I got the 7300 back here, it's pointless to try to get some sort of working floor arrangement, because the 7300 is obviously going to be shorter than this. So when I nose it in the corner, I can... Anyway, yeah. But all I've got to do to this, I got 2 belts to replace, that spring, and then filters and fluids. Well, filters and engine oil. I put new ATF in it, or mostly new ATF in it last year when I did the filter. Or did I? I might have done all of it. I can't remember. But anyway, I don't got to do the hydraulic slash hydro oil. But I got to put a new belt on the rotary screen, which that one is my fault because I think it was the day I started it to drive it over here. No, it was the day I power washed it before I brought it over here. I went to start it, and I started it, and I'm sitting there idling, and I'm like, why do I smell burning rubber? And I walked around the side, and it's like, oh, the rotary screen's not turning. So I went to flip the lever in, and it's like, it's already in engaged. The rotary screen had stuck to the seal, and it couldn't turn, and it smoked the belt off. A brand new belt that I put on it when I put the rotary screen, or fixed all the rotary screen stuff from the rollover. So I got to do that, and the minute it happened, the thought popped back into my mind, because when I got this and was talking to the guy I got it from, he said, now, if this thing sets for a long period of time, just take a screwdriver and make sure that the rotor screen is not stuck to the seal, or you burn the belt off. I forgot, rotary screen stuck, burnt the belt off. So I got that belt I got to replace. I have, at the end of the season last year, and by end of the season, I literally mean I was down on the muck finishing up, and I had 2 rounds left, and I was going along, and all of a sudden the clean grain elevator alarm started going off, and I looked back and the clean grain elevator's not turning. I'm like, what the hell? Because I could see the belt was still hooked up and everything from the cab. And I was looking at it, it's like, well, this ain't cool. So I come back around the side, and I'm looking, and everything's hooked up like it should be. I'm like, well, the belt ain't got no tension on it. That spring that I got down there goes right here. That's what tensions the belt. And you can tell I was on the muck last, because apparently I knocked a bunch of dust down driving it down the road. But anyhow, yeah, so it broke that belt, or broke that spring, and just detensioned the belt, and it couldn't keep turning the elevator. So I drove over to the truck and found a bungee strap long enough and got some tension back on the belt, and away she went. So, but I got to replace that spring, and I'm going to replace this belt because it's chewed up. I think that's probably, near as I can tell, the only belt, either it didn't get replaced, or for some reason it just weathered really bad, because pretty much every other belt on this thing is new or newer. And that one just, and you can see it's got a bunch of splits in it there, and it's got a split right there where they spliced it together, and it just, so, yeah. And it looks like I'm gonna have to take the chopper belt off this pulley, and then that goes, so yeah. But we'll start up here. I think I got everything out here I need. Let me, where can I set you so I can set the ladder up? Bear with me here. See, no more belt. That irked me off a little bit when that happened, if you could imagine. But when I saw that it was just that belt, it was a little bit of a relief, because you got a combine that's been sitting for a couple months and you fire it up, and then the first thing you smell is smoking belt, and you're like, that's not good. You gonna stay? I don't know why they didn't put a prop rod on this damn thing. What can I do? I'll be able to get a vice grip on that. Give me a minute. All right, there are vice grips on there, and that's made a nice little break. I was playing with it, and the rotary screen was indeed stuck again, so I broke it loose so that we won't make that mistake twice. But that's one of them deals where you're only gonna do it once. It's completely off topic, but while we're sitting here and I need something to talk about, so I don't know if anybody's ever, I'm sure as many people as I got watching the channel, at least a few of you have heard of the HBO miniseries about Chernobyl. It's literally it's titled Chernobyl. I had been wanting to watch it, but I don't have cable, and I don't even think mom and dad have satellite, and I don't even think they have HBO on their plan. But I had a hard time finding it on DVD, and I finally managed to, by the looks of it, I need to be taking this cover off at least once a year and blowing this shit out. But anyway, I've been wanting to watch it, and I finally managed to find it on Amazon and bought it, and Shelly and I just finished watching it last night. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. They did an excellent job of doing the storyline. The casting was good. The actors were amazing. It was just a very, very well done show. And it honestly was a little scary. That pulley's loose. It was honestly a little scary watching that show and seeing how things were in communist Russia back in the 80s, and looking and, you know, with state-run media and propaganda and all that crap, and then turning around and kind of seeing how things are going in the Western world right now and the number of parallels. And how things are going in this country, and it just, it didn't give you a warm fuzzy feeling. But if you haven't watched it, I gotta go grab some Allen wrenches. But if you haven't watched it, I think it was like 40. I might have got it for 30 something, but I can't remember. But it was a little pricey for a 5 episode, 5 hour miniseries. But if you haven't watched it, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Buy it, watch it. If you're into that sort of history, it was excellent. But I gotta go get a set of Allen wrenches so I can tighten that pulley up. So be right back. Okay, I got me some wrenches. I'm pretty sure, looking at the way the belt's laying, this thing actually walked in just a skish. I did loosen it up to pull it out. It's not like it was walking, but I think it had walked. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't have another set screw. I may have to keep an eye on it, and may end up having to drill it for a second set screw and get one on the key and one on the shaft. Because the one on the key will obviously keep the key from walking, and then the one on the shaft will keep the pulley from moving around. There we go. Oh, shit. Oh, no. I knocked a bolt down. Okay, and then we'll take this and flip it over like that. And then we can put the door back on. Or the cover, I guess it's not a door. Okay, now we can work on this belt. This one in itself is easy because once it's detensioned, it just flops off, but we got to get this one out of the way. And to get that one out of the way, don't know if that one's just solely on spring tension or if I got a jack bolt back here. Not a jack bolt, a tensioning bolt, which I do not show. That one is... Which way does this go? Well, it should pull down, but apparently, oh, it is already all the way against that stop. So, apparently I have to undo that stop. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bust them bolts loose right quick. Bust these bolts loose, swing that stop down, and you can pull this thing down by hand and flop the belt off. No, that key's not walking out, that's a wedge key. Alright, drop that stop down, pulled the pulley down, and then again got it wedged with a pair of vice grips so that I don't got to try to hold it. When you're doing stuff by yourself, vice grips can be like a third set of be like a third hand. And then this is already detensioned, and it's got to come off of that pulley first, otherwise you fight it. And then we got to go up top. Actually, I wonder if I can reach it off the ladder. Here. It'll be close. Oh yeah, we're gonna reach it. Yeah, I dare say she was ready. I'm not saying it wouldn't have made it another season, but cost of a belt saves you a headache. All right, I need both hands for this part, so we're gonna leave you back there on the wall. And I give up. Where did it go? I could have spec'd that belt out a little shorter. Now sarcasm. Now this is the fun part, because I remember obviously when we did when we swapped the elevators out, we had to undo this belt, and it took me and Dad both to get this spring. And you'd think they'd have a draw bolt in here to help or to tension that spring. Looked in the parts book, now it's a straight pull. And it is a bear. I wonder, this is either gonna work or I'm gonna hurt myself, one of the two. I feel like I'm gonna hurt myself if I do that. I wonder, let's see if I can pull. Ow. There we go. Sweet. Now we can put this guy back on. And I just gotta throw the tensioner back on that and we're ready to rock and roll. All right, and with those two belts, that's, as far as I know, from last year, basically the extent of the mechanical repairs that I have to do to this thing. Kind of nice when you buy a combine that's pretty much been gone through front to back, and the most expensive thing you gotta do is replace a couple belts. So now we're on to changing the engine oil, which is this hose right here to drop it. So give me a couple crescent wrenches. I was really disappointed because I try to buy good American used tools as much as I can. And normally flea markets at a tractor show is a good place to do stuff like that. And now, not where I was, not at the show I was at this weekend. I might have to go get my 10-inch. I thought I had it with me. But that flea market was a trip. There was like one tool guy, and everything he had was Chinesian garbage. And I was hoping to find another 12-inch crescent wrench and a 15-inch crescent wrench, and I'd like to find a 24. And everything he had was just Chinese garbage. I couldn't find an American-made tool there to save my ass. So, but I gotta go get a bigger. Well, I might actually have a regular size wrench, or a regular wrench that does that. Is it this one? It is that one. Okay, we're in business again. Holy cow! I didn't need to make it that damn tight. So I guess I'm gonna have to get on the old flea bay and see if I can come up with a few decent American wrenches. I'd like to find some Williams. I really like Williams wrenches. I want to find, Dad's got some piecemeal, but I want to find a full set of Williams super wrenches. They're combination wrenches, and they got longer handles than normal. God, I love those. I love those wrenches. And I found a set one time. I found a full set from, I think, like 1/2 inch all the way up to like 1 1/8 or something one time at an auction. It was in a big wrench. It was in the actual like pouch wrench roll. I'm guessing by just the coloring and the logo and everything is probably from the 70s. And I think that damn wrench roll ended up going for like $400 or $500. Like, I want to find them, but I want to find a deal. Of course, you go out and you buy those wrenches of that quality today, you're probably going to spend that much money, but you're not buying new wrenches, you're buying used wrenches, so I don't know. So, that gets our oil dropping. Okay, while the engine oil is draining, we can get these fuel filters changed. I got the valve closed on the tank so it can't siphon. This is gonna be a minute. Okay, I got the bowls drained. For the most part. We're on dirt, fuck it. There's one. Alright, we're ready to go back together here. New O-rings in. Good there. Do a better job of clocking my bleed screw this time. There's one. Okay, we're ready to bleed her back up. I got this bleeder screw on the filter base cracked, and I got the two of them on the pump cracked. I can't remember if this thing will bleed up with the electric pump or if I got to do it with the primer pump. So, turn the key on and see what it does. I opened the valve back up on the tank, so if I remember right, it takes this thing a minute. Well, we skip ahead a little bit here. I got the fuel filters on, fuel system's primed up. I got the new oil filter on. It's mostly full of oil. See, mostly because I thought it was a 12-quart pan. Apparently it's a 14-quart pan because I used all the oil I brought and it's still not full. It's on the dipstick, but I'm still not going to start it without being full. I've pre-filled the filter, so that's full, but I'm still not going to start it until I got all the oil in it. So I guess unfortunately I'm going to have to finish this up tomorrow, but basically I'm down to topping the oil off and greasing it and checking chain tensions on it, and she's pretty much ready to go. So I guess we will probably just come back to this tomorrow and finish it up, and I guess I might even just, because I'm going to finish this up tomorrow and then go start working on the corn head. So I guess I'll think about it tonight and decide if I'm going to just tack on the start of working on the corn head onto this or make it its own video. But regardless, we'll see you tomorrow to finish this guy up. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. All right, I pretty much got it ready to go. Topped off the oil, greased it, checked the chains, cleaned the air filter out. So the only thing I haven't done yet is start it. So come on, girl, prime up for me. Son of a bitch. All right, take two. What the hell? I got fuel at the pump. I've come to the conclusion I need to quit trying to start shit on camera. I tried the second time. I shut the camera off. I literally did nothing. and I hit the key again and it fired right up. They're camera shy. I don't know how the hell else to explain it. And don't mind the squeaking. The belts there on the accessory drive get a little bit of rust in them, and then they, from sitting, and then they squeak until you run it for a little bit and then they quit squeaking. So that's normal. And I still have my rotary screen disengaged, so that's why it's not turning. But let her sit warm up for a minute and shut it off and check the oil. Alrighty, everything checks out, so I'm gonna go ahead and call the 8700 officially ready to rock. So I should go home and work on the, or go back over to Mom and Dad's and work on the corn head, or at least get the corn head on the 7300 today. But the cows got out at the Boss's this morning and spent 2.5 hours chasing them bastards around in the rain to get them back in the pasture. They were out in the cornfield, then we had to chase them across the bean field, and then they went through the woods and eventually made it back to the pasture. But 2 hours of doing that, and it was cold and raining, and I've felt like dog shit ever since. So rather than trying to push it and make myself sick, 'cause I really don't want to get sick this close to harvest, I'm gonna take it easy this afternoon and try to get some decent rest and hopefully feel better in the morning. And the situation isn't helped by the fact that I don't know if I twisted wrong working on this thing yesterday or if I slept wrong last night, but I got a grab in my neck and I can only turn my head to the right. If I gotta look left, I gotta turn my whole body because it hurts so damn bad I can't turn my head that way. So, but hopefully I feel better tomorrow and we can start working on that damn corn head. Between yesterday and today, because I had to order some shit, I got everything I need to change oil in the grain trucks, and I went and bought a grease gun for corn head grease. I had almost thought about buying an electric grease gun for it to make it faster, but I was like, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on an electric grease gun. I want to have a gun dedicated to corn head grease. That way you don't end up with half a tube and end up having to take it out and try to cap it or throw it away. I bought a $20 grease gun at TSC. That way that one can have corn head grease thrown in it and it just stays corn head grease. And once we get the initial fill done on the gearboxes, it's just going to be a maintenance pump every year to keep them full. But so it's going to suck the first time around, but after that it really ain't going to matter. So I figured that was the best route to go. We'll see. But anyway, since this one's all squared away, I guess that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.